I'm here to discuss this week's top stories in the economic crisis with Satya Thalam, the director of the Financial Markets Working Group at the Mercatus Center. Satya, what are the top policy developments from this past week, specifically the stress tests? Weren't those supposed to be coming out yesterday?
Well, that's right. They didn't come out yesterday as promised. Preliminary reports of the results led to mixed signals. On one hand, several banks have said we're ready to pay back TARP funds, indicating that they may be healthy again. On the other hand, the administration has indicated that all banks may be required to raise additional funds. Also, Chrysler finally filed for bankruptcy. Many of the company's creditors feel they didn't get a fair deal, and these complaints may hold up the process. And finally, the cram-down bill was defeated in Congress last week.
Can you explain the cram-down legislation to us, and what have our scholars been saying about it?
The cram-down legislation would have allowed judges to write down the value of residential mortgages in bankruptcy proceedings. Bankruptcy expert Todd Zywicki has testified that this would have had a disastrous effect on consumer credit markets because it would have incentivized a whole new wave of unnecessary bankruptcies.
Oh, interesting. So is this going to be the last that we've seen of the cram-down bill, or could it come back?
It probably will come back, but there's no good timeline for when that may happen.
Okay, Satya, and what should we be looking for in D.C. this week?
Well, after passing overwhelmingly in the House last week, look for the Senate to pick up a credit card bill, which would issue new restrictions on credit card issuers. Also, there's a handful of hearings dealing with the financial crisis this week. The Senate Banking Committee will be looking at SEC enforcement, and the House Financial Services Committee will be looking at both TARP oversight and hedge fund registration.
Thanks for the update. Daily updates are available on our website, and we'll come back next week with major policy developments. My name is Abby Martin from the Mercatus Center at George Mason University. Have a great week.